You're watching a special presentation of Florida's 5 WUFT-TV. Beyond the Box Score. Now, here's your host.
I'm Marc Whiteman. Thanks for joining us. Sports have a unique way of evoking all sorts of emotions. For those who play, it's the wins that matter. The goal of this program, however, is to push beyond the headlines, statistics, and schedules. The people and teams you'll meet all share a common thread: competition. But no two stories are the same. A team fights perceptions leveled against their high school and community the only way they know how. A collection of university students are among the best in the world at what they do. And finally, for fun, you'll get a unique look at Florida gymnastics that just might make you dizzy. But we begin with another Gator athlete. Isabella O'Connor didn't play a lot her freshman year. But when she stepped on the field for the Florida Lacrosse program this spring, fans got a preview of her skill set. The Massachusetts native and high school Under Armour All-American is a gifted goal scorer at attack and a bulldog of a defender. But what many don't know, she's fought more battles than most. At 15 years old, Bella lost her mother to breast cancer. The teenager took on the responsibility of keeping her family afloat logistically and emotionally. For Bella, the lacrosse field was her escape. Her journey from Plymouth to Gainesville is one that, just like her mother, she won't ever forget.
She would have loved it down here. She would have loved my team. She would have loved the coaches. She would have loved the parents. She would have loved being decked out in Gator gear, sitting on the sidelines. And I think that's also another reason why I love this place so much, because I know she would have loved it.
Bella O'Connor is a rising sophomore and promising young talent on one of the nation's best collegiate women's lacrosse teams.
As Bella O'Connor shoots and scores to make it 8-4.
As a high school junior, she helped lead Notre Dame Academy to the Massachusetts Division I state championship. Her career earned her All-American and All-Scholastic nods, 3 times for both.
Bella was just really special. I mean, you could tell the minute you saw her play. She's just so competitive. She had confidence, she had grit, she had grind, she had heart. She had everything that we were looking for in a student athlete.
Bella comes from a family full of athletes. Her brother was a Division III national champion wrestler for the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Her father was a high school football star, and her mother ran track in high school. To many, Bella is very much her mother's daughter.
When I say things, I'm like, whoa, I sound like my mom. And when I do things, I can't watch someone do something and not be able to do it. I'm like, oh my God, let me do it. Just let me do it. And that's exactly how she was. And I think people tell me I look like her, but I don't see it. Maybe it's just because I'm blonde and she's black hair, but I wish I could see it, because she's freaking gorgeous. I'm like, yeah, I look like her. But yeah, I definitely see my mom in what I do.
In 2008, Caroline O'Connor found a lump and was diagnosed with breast cancer. She and husband John quickly delivered the news to Bella and her brother Vincent.
I heard about people having cancer all the time. I was like, oh, people survive that all the time. It's not a big deal. Cancer doesn't know what it's getting itself into with my mom.
At just 13 years old, Bella was instrumental in caring for her mother. She'd help change her bandages, help her shower, make dinner for the family, and clean up around the house, all before getting to her homework.
Her mother had, really dark hair, very Italian looking, dark hair, dark eyes, and and both the kids have lighter hair and blue eyes. And she always said, none of my kids can look like me. And it says they got older, they just started taking on that appearance. They had muscular bodies and the same nose, the same eyes, the same cheekbones, and the same attitude. Go after life. Life's waiting at your doorstep. Open the door and go get it.
Caroline began chemotherapy shortly after the cancer, then stage 1, was discovered and had the lump removed. For a time, things seemed to normalize, but a year later the cancer had returned and metastasized. The family was forced to watch as Caroline's level of activity rapidly diminished.
Working out for my mom was her getaway. It was when she was stressed out from work, she would go and work out. She would run as far as she could, and she used to run for miles and miles every day. But then it started going from 7 miles to 4 miles to 3 miles, and then me and her would walk. We'd go for walks.
She said if I could do one more thing, it would be just to go for a run down by the ocean, just to work out. Not to go somewhere to a bucket list or anything like that. I just want to run. I want to be outside, moving, running, and I'd give anything to have that back.
She never did get that last run. On December 17th, 2010, at the age of 46, Caroline O'Connor passed away.
And my dad and my brother didn't really take it well at all. And so it was really hard for me because I had to be the rock. I had to be like the pace that held them together. I would come from my brother, I'd come from my dad, I'd cook dinner, I'd clean.
You get mad, you go through all the emotions, where sometimes you're at the end of your rope. And then that one comes strolling in the door, and it's like, how can I be down on something or depressed about, anything? Yeah, she was more than my rock. She was my rock and she was my world. She was.
Bella turned her focus toward making the varsity lacrosse team as a freshman at Notre Dame Academy, a dream of her mother's.
It was definitely my escape. I mean, whenever I was having a problem with her, I was having a harder day than another, I would just go out and run extra hard and play extra hard, granted I would break down after, but it helped me get everything I needed to get out with the healthy way.
It certainly is an outlet when, when tragedy strikes, or even, it's just an outlet when things are going bad that day. You can, step away from what's happening and leave it at the door, get in the locker room, get your uniform on, and then go out and just, play lacrosse.
That March, Bella achieved something Caroline always knew was a foregone conclusion.
It was kind of hard because I wish she could have seen, the one thing she wanted for me was to make varsity lacrosse in high school my freshman year and play and start, and I did, and she didn't get to see that, unfortunately.
Lacrosse was an outlet for both of us. It got me out of the house, it got me to talk to some really good people.
When my mom passed away, my dad took it really hard, and my dad would try not to sit there and sulk, but I think lacrosse definitely got him out, and it was an escape for him to be like, all right, this is something that I knew Caroline loved. It's good for Isabella, it's good for me. It's something that she loves to do, and it's something that I love watching her do.
Over the next 4 years, John would watch as Bella played her way from Notre Dame Academy to national prospect to the University of Florida and head coach Amanda O'Leary.
We knew when we were recruiting her that unfortunately her mother had passed. That sort of was also a trigger for us that she had gone through this adversity and triumphed.
Annually, the women's athletic programs at Florida host a Link to Pink game designed by the university to raise breast cancer awareness. On February 14th, in their third game of the season, Florida Lacrosse hosted Michigan in their Link to Pink match. In front of her father and brother, Bella scored a career-high 3 goals.
I think it was my mom. I think my mom was like, push over Bella, I'm playing this game, screw you, I'm gonna score some goals. It was an outer-body experience, it was amazing.
You could tell she was playing for something far more than just, herself. She was playing for her mom.
Florida beat Michigan 21-0. It was the only shutout the Gators recorded all season. In many ways, Bella is every bit the embodiment of her mother, even if she doesn't always see it.
She was a bubbly, crazy, passionate, caring, athletic, funny, hardworking person. Of course, this gets me teary-eyed just explaining it. I can't even describe her. She's amazing. And I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how she did it. Throughout the whole time, she managed to stay happy and stay positive, and it, to this day, awes me, and I didn't get her strength. That's what pushes me every day.
It carried her through her mother's 2-year bout with breast cancer. It carried her family when Caroline passed away. It carried her onto the field as a high school freshman and led her to Florida. And it hasn't disappeared in Gainesville either.
Here we go, Gators!
She is worldly beyond her years. When all of this happened, I felt like, from what they've told me, that she was the rock in the family, that everybody looked to her to hold it together. And I think that she kind of has become that rock for our team as well. When there's when there's questions to be had, when there's problems that arise, I think they're looking to Bella for the answer.
If someone asked me, would you quit lacrosse for your mother to be here? I would, which was the hardest thing in the world for me to do, I would do it. But granted, that's not what happened, and she did pass away, and I'm here now. I am absolutely thankful for everything that has happened, from my hardships that I've had to my great, everything I've excelled in, to the things I've failed at, and how I handle it. I would not be the same person that I am, and I And I'm thankful for the person that I am and how I can handle things.
So far from home with demanding work schedules, John and Vincent do their best to make as many of Bella's games as they can. But even when they can't make it, they know someone's watching.
Her mother has the best seat right in her heart, you know, so she's there for everything. She's got the best seat in the house.
When asked to speculate about Bella's college career, head coach Amanda O'Leary cited her ability to lift her peers as a tremendous teammate, before simply stating her future is bright. 17 miles southeast of Gainesville lies the city of Hawthorne. The town of 1,500 has had its challenges. The high school's letter grade has dipped to an F in recent years, and enrollment this past year was 270. But this small town also champions massive success. For the third time in the past 4 years, the Hawthorne High School boys basketball team reached the state's 1A classification's Final Four. En route to a 28-win season, the Hornets toppled programs from schools much larger than their own, both in classification size and opponents build. Their resolve on the court and their demeanor off of it has infused energy into a community that very much needed it.
Knock down another one. Lawrence with his second three of the quarter, and Hawthorne with a double-digit lead, largest lead of the half for the Hornets.
For me, it's humbling, you know, being the head coach and knowing just something as simple as a game of basketball will literally shut the town down.
You can hear the phone ringing. You know, people are calling, what time does the game start? Because they want to make sure they're here or who's playing.
Stores will probably be closing early. People are going out, hey, I got to get out early. I got to get the Hawthorne game. We don't know if it's going to be sold out, but all the tickets going to be gone.
The energy that's there from all the people who've been coming to the games for years and years and years.
We will have on the City of Hawthorne, welcome to the City of Hawthorne, state champs, state champs, state champs.
If I had to sum up Hawthorne basketball, it would be hustle, in one word, hustle.
The tallest player of this year's team, for example, was only 6'2". So for a 6'2" to be the tallest player, that says that they've got to do other things to win.
We normally have guys between 5'8" and 5'10", so we have to really stress hustle and passion.
We press all game, try to get like mismatches, big man's on small. And he always say they got to guard us just like we got to guard them, so they might have size, but we had the quickness.
In the house, former Hawthorne great, Florida and NFL player, and now the new head football coach at Hawthorne, Cornelius Ingram. Congratulations to the Hawthorne hometown hero, Cornelius Ingram.
I think of energy. When you come into the gym, it's electric in here.
Our fans are, I mean, not in a bad way, but they're crazy. Our fans are crazy.
We love our basketball. We passionate about our basketball. So when you come to a game, it's gonna be riding. You know what I'm saying? Our gym this big, we this close, we gonna be riding. We don't mean nothing about it, but we riding. We passionate about it.
It's like you going into war, but you know your family got you, and they always there for you.
That's how you make it work. I walk these same hallways. I played here football, basketball, track, and then my entire coaching staff are Hawthorne alumni. They played here.
Our uncle, cousin, two cousins might be on the team right now. We got two brothers. We got cousins, first cousins, second cousins. It's just all family somehow, some way that these people have been around each other from generations on down, and that's what we keep cheering for the same people, just same family, just different kids.
There's been a lot of negatives associated with Hawthorne. For say, the school grade hasn't been the best the last couple of years, and all the talk, well, they need to close Hawthorne down, and they need to do this. My kid's not going to Hawthorne.
I got an out-of-county transfer, sent my daughter to Keystone, 9th and 10th grade. Well, a lot of parents have the same mindset. Oh, my kids aren't going to Hawthorne because they was on the decline. Well, when you've got that attitude about you, you're taking away from the school. And last year I put her back in Hawthorne because I kind of seen where I was going wrong. This ain't right.
The thing that hurts us with being an F school is that our enrollment is down. It kind of builds on itself. We have a very small enrollment. It's more difficult to get a higher grade because every student counts for more of that percentage point of the school grade.
We don't want our school to get closed down. Our school get closed down, that kill our community. Where we want to send our kids at?
We get a bad rap from everywhere. The town is too small or they play too rough. We actually feed off it.
I have great kids. They're very respectable. All of them are classy guys. but they're passionate about the game of basketball.
I think they're great kids. I think they're very respectful, and they really work hard. You know, they put the work in.
They want them first and foremost to be good students and then to be good student athletes.
I use basketball more so to teach the kids a lot of life lessons. Working hard, being on time, you know, being a team player, all the things that they're going to need in life.
And when you got a coach that is 100% Hawthorne, it's not hard for the heartbeat of the kids to turn to that.
It means something to wear Hawthorne on your shirt. It's an honor to play for Hawthorne.
It's almost like contagious. You don't even have to say a whole lot. When we say the word Hawthorne, it means so much to us.
Yeah, you're going out and you're playing the game, but it's much deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. You get a chance to go out and represent for the entire town of Hawthorne.
If you lose a game, you know, if you're at the store, you'll hear about it. And I don't want to say it's nothing bad or disrespectful when people approach them after losing the game, but it's just concern. Hey man, we should have won that game. We got to pick it up this week.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. You playing for that name on your chest. Not, you know what I'm saying? You're playing for the city of Hawthorne, playing for the generation of family that's cheering you on.
There's a sense of loyalty there because there's no other schools in that area to pull for, to cheer for, to go to school for that matter. So when you're in a small community like that, it's really close-knit.
The mountaintop is to me, is reaching the state final. There's no other game after that. And Hawthorne reached the mountaintop.
I've been to the Final Four now 3 times. So for me, it's kind of like, you know, kind of got the monkey on the back. But for the kids, that's far from a bust. You don't win 28 games and only lose 3 games and be a bust. And then for Keldrick to you know, get a full scholarship, there's no way it can be a bust with kids getting scholarships.
You've conquered all odds, and then you go and you have one bad game, you know? I mean, we're talking about all season. I mean, look at the results, look at the stats, look in the newspapers. You know, look at the city, look at the people around you, look at your teachers and your coaches and everyone. I mean, shoot, you've made an impact.
There's not a whole lot going on here. To be frankly, nothing at all. So when there is a game, everything pretty much shuts down, and everybody wants to be a part of it.
We just love where we're from. We love the orange and black and white. We love the Hornets.
We have kids that want to come back and play here and be a part of the community, and they're from here. They just maybe didn't come to school here. You know, they went to other schools, and now, you know, they're wanting to come back here and be a part of this.
We need our school to grow. We need people to accept the fact that we ain't a bad place. We got caring, loving, passionate people that love the kids.
I'm grateful to be in this position, because ain't nothing like it.
This community of Hawthorne is family to me. But we're not blood related, but it's their family to me. I wouldn't change my fans for the world.
Between the Hornets' success on the court and Cornelius Ingram being named the new head coach of the football team, school officials are optimistic enrollment and letter grade are trending in a positive direction. As for Keldrick Bradley, he's the first player under Coach Bowie to earn a college scholarship. 365 days a year, the team at Gator Motorsports lives and breathes their work, a formula race car constructed from scratch. Brought together by strong passion for engineering and automobiles, these students skip schoolwork, sacrifice sleep, give up weeknights and weekends, all to work in Concord towards a checkered flag at the Formula SAE Series in Michigan. Something's working. The program is perennially among the best. What they do is exhaustive. But if you ask them, it's never once felt like work. Perfection, tantalizingly within our grasp, teasingly out of reach. It's a quest the 26 members of Gator Motorsports know all too well. Since 1991, a collection of University of Florida engineering students have come together to dream up and design a race car. The team is often placed in the top 20 at their annual competition in Michigan. It's no easy task, crafting the perfect automobile. But in the pursuit of perfection, there's beauty and brotherhood.
We spend all of our time here. This is basically our group of friends. We almost, in a sense, live together and eat together, and We make the designs hand in hand together, and we manufacture this car hand in hand together.
It's a Friday night in early spring. It's 3 in the morning and the Gator Motorsports garage is buzzing. Some tweaking the engine's intake manifold that supplies the fuel and air mixture, others fine-tuning the throttle body, which regulates airflow into the engine.
Not everything will be perfect, but working as hard as you can to get it close to that is what made us top 10 the past 2 years.
So pretend this is your bolt.
For a team concerned with maximizing straight-line speed up to 90 miles per hour, their upward trajectory has been arguably more impressive. Each May, team members travel to Michigan to test their design against 120 programs from around the world at the Formula SAE Michigan. From a car that didn't finish in 2011 to one that placed 9th out of 120 entries in 2014, the team has improved each of the last 4 years.
I want to win. Just getting there and doing our best won't cut it anymore.
With that will to win driving them, the members craft their vehicle to Michigan specifics annually. The team enjoys virtually unrestricted creativity in regard to their designs, building a 3D rendering of their vehicle and working to fashion almost every individual part, from steering wheel to gas pad to brake pedal.
I may need to be here from 6 to 12 even though I have an exam the next morning, which means I may need to study after 12 that night, and sometimes you just have to. And sometimes you just have to take the bad grade. You have to weigh the pros and cons with it.
Come in the morning, start working, go to class, come back, put more effort in, go to class, come back, repeat, stay late at night, and same thing day after day.
At a minimum 10 hours a week, and on the higher end, 40, 50 hours a week. And so if you multiply that by, the 40 weeks that we are actually building this car, it turns out to be an insurmountable amount of time and energy, many sleepless nights preparing the car, getting it ready to drive the next day, getting it ready for competition.
I haven't gotten much sleep the past 2 days. Tonight I'm going to get 3-4 hours, come back here at 6 a.m., get things done.
Man, my finals I didn't study for, oh my gosh, that's gone. I don't have any sleep. All the cash I have, I just spent towards going to Michigan. And it's oh, you're just drained out. Okay, sweet. So we already had a minute.
Captains and seniors Jonathan Nunez and Noel Thomas have been along for the ride from the start of their college years, and really long before that too.
So I think it was 4th grade, Fast and the Furious came out.
I've always been interested in cars and racing. Racing's a big part of my family.
So I started going on the internet and researching how engines worked and things like that.
My dad's always working on old cars. We're always going to races.
So I got my license when I was 16, and then I bought my car. It was a 1976 280Z. It's a cool car, but it's really slow. It only has 150 horsepower. So I raced my dad in his stock Civic, and he beat me with it, and I was that's terrible.
I saw that there was a Formula SAE team here at this school.
I put a Corvette engine in it. That coupled with the automotive technical classes I was taking in high school, basically just kind of became a lifestyle.
I said, oh, I got to check that out, and I've been coming every day since then.
Their development as engineers and leaders have coincided with the program's recent rise.
Watch out.
But as the hours pile up, competition draws close, and the collective tanks of its members slip toward empty, Gator Motorsports needs every cog in the machine working at maximum efficiency. Everyone has a task, and every piece's flawless construction is essential, down to the smallest suspension components.
It requires a team, it requires a village, and luckily we have the perfect village.
I love automobiles. I love working on my truck. I worked on Camaros. I love cars. And at the same time, I love engineering. I love building stuff.
Not only do I get to drive a race car, but I get to design and build it from scratch. You can't get much more fun than that.
Bleary-eyed but unrelenting in their razor-like determination, these worker bees flit around the garage, fine-tuning an instrument whose sole purpose is to rocket around a track 1 inch from the ground. And all that design, all that construction, toying with the engine, creating mounts for accurate temperature reads, a year's worth of work, coalesces down to 4 days on a track.
Nerve-wracking. You spend the entire year building this car, and you have 4 days to prove that you did a good job against 126 teams from around the world, from Germany, from Australia, from Japan. It's definitely a heart-pounding experience.
I won't be happy or excited until the checker flag flies.
No, or so I guess so the issue is.
So then why do it? If a year's worth of work only culminates in more stresses, if grades, sleep, and free time are willingly slashed, well, of course there's the pragmatic answer, hands-on experience, but there's this one, too.
It's fun. Yeah. It's fun as hell.
You have to learn how to make something that lasts a while, and it's very challenging. It's very worthwhile.
There's down times, too, when you don't want to come back and, maybe a big fight or a big problem. But then I remember that I get to drive a race car and build a race car, so I come back.
On their quest to be first across the finish line, Gator Motorsports gets infinitely more out of the process than any results could ever provide.
Just stepping back and thinking for a minute, even if you don't succeed, look how far you've come. Look at what you've accomplished, look at the people you've dealt with, look how much fun you've had, is definitely a good thing to do on a daily basis, and is it's calming every once in a while, because it reminds you that at the end of the day, it's not just how well you do, but the journey.
Now each team puts their vehicle through multiple events in Michigan. Design, fuel economy, acceleration, that's just naming a few. And the cumulative score from the 8 events crowns the winner. Out of 110 teams at this year's competition, Gator Motorsports finished second. And finally tonight, if you've ever wondered what it's like to flip like a gymnast, the first athlete in Florida history to record a perfect 10 in all 4 events has got you covered. 3-time national champion and 21-time All-American Bridget Sloan, take it away.
What's up guys, Bridget Sloan here, and today I'm going to show you what it's like to do gymnastics through my eyes. Let's go. Hope you guys had as much fun as I did. Till next time.
Thanks, Bridget, and thank you at home for joining us. I'm Marc Whiteman, and this was Beyond the Box Score.